knowledge you don't apply it is also useless. You know so many things under the sun, but you got no prospect to meet you. You share with who? Your mother? Chapa liao. You share with your mother, man. Cannot what? You need to go and find people to apply also what?
Welcome to the Authentic FRG podcast. Hi Deon.
Hi man.
How's the dog?
Wow. First one you start off like that. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Interesting Interesting journey.
What's the exact breed? Like, is it
Golden Retriever.
But don't look golden.
It's cream colour lah.
Cream lah.
Yeah.
What made you decide to get a dog?
What made me decide to get a dog? Felt that life was starting to get a little bit boring lah. So I thought, okay lah. No, cause I went to a few friends' place. Then I saw a lot of them have dogs also. Then I was thinking to myself, how come they all can have dogs? Oh yeah, they got their own place already. Then let's move into Ubi ma. So I'm like, maybe you should explore the idea of a dog. Then we went to see all the different shops.
Yeah.
Then my wife wanted the multi-pool.
The smaller
yeah,
but
the smaller dog.
They were like quite naughty there.
No feels lah.
No feels.
The moment this golden walked out, I said, okay lah, no choice already. This one already. Like that. Then few months already lah, so it's good.
Yeah. Have you not considered having a kid instead of
Yeah lah, my parents damn scared lah. The moment they see one dog, they say, siao, is it I not gonna be akong already? I say, relaxing. We see how it goes. Yeah, but I still in the pipeline lah.
Pipeline leh,
Pipeline show?
This one really talking a true salesperson.
Still in the pipeline, sure.
Yeah. So, look, like, first thing I want to find out, other than the dog, right? Obviously, is to really understand like kind of like business model. Now, this is your you're 7 years in business, right?
Around there.
Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I know and based on conversation we had, it was mostly warm, or if not all warm, large referrals.
I started off when I really started producing. It was 2018. So we did a hybrid of like cold and warm.
Right.
Then I think we fully transitioned somewhere in 19 or 20 into a full warm business.
Right. But when you first started off, because probably you were student advisor.
Yeah, student advisor.
Yeah. So when you started off, like was it like cold?
Mainly cold.
Roadshow.
Roadshow, door knock, anything that we can do, street canvassing, we'll do lah. But yeah, didn't do that well also from there. Actually, it was okay lah, but didn't feel that fulfilling also lah.
Right. And what do you not like did warm at that point in time when you first started?
No, I think it's
what's the
okay lah, authentic lah. I think it's like due to like some personal ego right. Problems. It's like you haven't proved yourself, then you also don't want the impression that okay, you're approaching your friends because you cannot sustain in the industry. Yeah, then only when I fully transit to warm, then I realized that was my problem lah. Yeah.
Right. What was it? So when you transit to warm, then obviously you have been doing warm all the way, right? And then got MDRT, so on and so forth, and become manager as well. So do you felt then like warm? If you had started warm earlier, do you think that your success would have been greater?
Of course Of course, definitely. Because cold, you mainly focus a lot on the products lah. Like, I mean, financial planning wise, you meet a stranger at MRT, how to financial plan? I mean, yes, there are some that they'll be open to the discussion, but not all lah. So usually it'll be more product focused, like you're going in with that specific angle. Yeah. So it was okay, but yeah, I don't think that's sustainable lah.
Right. So what made you decided, like, to transit into warm? I know you mentioned kind of an agency moving there, right? But do you had a lot of resistance, kind of like moving into warm market, given that, the first maybe 1-2 years you had that kind of beliefs about like the ego, or maybe feel like you're not, in terms of planning and sales wise, not worthy or stable enough to go warm. Yeah. So like how did the transition?
Transition, I think first thing is to brush up on the personal skills lah. It's like I cannot use the same method in the cold market for the warm side ma. So I had to go and brush up, learn how to properly financial plan, what's a good investment portfolio, all the cash flow, basically all the CFP,
Right.
CHFC, that stuff. How to properly plan for somebody. Then I think that sort of helped increase the belief also lah.
And then how do you approach them? I don't know if you still consider project one.
My style is just straight. Hey, come! I think this one is good for you.
How do you
Let
do
me see.
prospecting? So let's say, if you go back to that time where you had your first few, maybe your first 20 warm prospects / clients, how do you approach them, when you're doing the transition? Was it like you text them and then like, hey bro, lai lah, coffee now.
That's my style. That's my style lah. Yeah lah. No, a lot of people ask for what's the best script. Let's say just come on. I mean, ultimately they are your friends, ma. You meet them up, you share with them something that's useful for them. Then, yeah lor. It depends, ma. If they see there's a problem, then they'll go with the solution lah.
But they might not even, like a lot of people when they do warm, they might not even want to meet you in the first place, because of this usual stereotype, right? Yeah. So how do you kind of like overcome that, or was it just fuck it, like you just like straight away?
To me lah, my personal style is just fuck it lah. But because I mean, throughout the entire secondary school, army, poly, army also split into so many different wing lah, different company lah. So intern network wise, 1,000 plus should be okay ma. Then it's just about how you foster relationships with the not so close one lah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah lor, I mean they don't want then it's fine lah. But I think that's why I attended the last time it's called 2XYC lah. And the 2XYC I attended because I wanted to increase the social media presence also.
Right.
So that one also helped a bit, but direct walk in don't have lah. But I think it helped in the exposure lah. Like people know what I'm doing. And yeah lor, I'm just conducting my business in general lah. That will help with the awareness portion.
Right. So do you do, so you mentioned it's direct. Have you ever been like kind of an indirect approach? Meaning to say indirect, like you really coffee with someone and then just purely catch up first, then transit into
of course.
opening appointment.
Of course like that's what I tell my guys also, like if it's a catch up or just to be there as a friend, then the iPad all just leave at home lah. I mean go there and genuinely catch up, then see how the thing develops lah.
How do you ask? So let's say we catch up, right? And then like how do you transit into like the opening appointment? That's something I'm curious about. Based on your style.
Transit.
Yeah.
My style, I just say come down kopi lah. Come down kopi or hey, you want to go eat or
okay, so let's say eating the time, like the catch up, right? Catch up session and whatnot.
Yeah, because if this is a lunch, that means it's been quite some time since you met the person already, right?
Yeah.
So then just catch up on life lor, like see what after army what happened to him, what did he do, or got girlfriend already, or now still single, BTO coming in a few years. Then just genuinely be happy for him lah. If they're progressing, if they're not, then see what areas you can give advice on.
Be a counselor.
No choice lah. Yeah lah.
Then how do you transit then? Like how do you then go into like opening, after the genuine catch up, which we really just want to catch up. But how do you kind of like open up? Because there will be cases where when we coach advice, sometimes they will just like say that catch up is a waste of time because catch up already, then after that 什么都没有, in a sense.
That's why I think cannot be so transactional also lah. Like 什么都没有, that means you also got nothing you can give also. It's like that one. I mean, if you go and talk, then here and there. For me, I won't be paiseh because ultimately I'm still looking for clients also. And they come and meet me. If they think it's supposed to work together, they'll meet me for a proper session.
Right.
So after the catch up, maybe values different, or maybe he thinks I'm not the right planner for him, then okay lah. But I'll still ask lah whether or not you want to come for a proper session, because whatever I'm doing really is useful for the clients or not.
Is it at the end or like halfway through?
No lah, I'll go home. I mean, eat panggang is panggang already mah. Then maybe, because I always have a list of who I need to approach every month, so they'll be in the list lah. Then I'll just ask them, want to come up.
So it's not ask on the catch up session. No. So it's you kind of like, okay, let's catch up. You build a relationship first, and then after that, then you probably do a direct text.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
I'm more of a direct person.
Yeah. Then after you do a direct text, hey bro, I want to do financial planning, blah blah blah, right? Is there like based on the way you operate in the business, is there like a specific duration, between the catch up versus the first the asking for the opening appointment? Yeah. Is it like, okay, after 2 weeks after catch up, okay, then after that 差不多了, right? Or is it like just go with the flows.
Feels are flow lah. This one
Yeah.
for this sort of catch up one. Some is on the spot I might ask also.
Okay.
Some is maybe few days later. Some never even ask also. Yeah, so it depends on how the catch up goes lah. Yeah.
How do you see a lot of advisors when you do that, right? They will say things like, "Hey, but does it mean you're not genuine?" Because the perspective they have is catch up because to ask for
Yup.
the opening month. Do you
Yup.
feel that way? What's your
Starting
take on it?
lah. I think starting everybody will have this feeling also lah. But I just
But if let's say a young advisor asks you right now, the
Yeah.
6 months, and then
Yeah.
they say, "Hey, Deon, 我觉得 not genuine then how would you what's your perspective and how would you kind of like share a different free?
so to me I think like we are self-employed. We are the equivalent of it's as though we start our own business ma. So if let's say okay, I just ask myself, if let's say one day I were to open a chicken rice stall, I'll just ask you to come down and eat. You want to eat, you eat. You don't want to eat, is fine. But I will still want you to come and try and eat my chicken rice also.
Right.
But how come this FA space suddenly it's your problem? It's your own self-esteem? Or
What do you think is the problem then? Like, because you're right, if
Yeah.
I'm sure someone open up some chicken rice open up,
Yeah lor.
open some bubble tea
Yeah lor.
shop, they're like, hey,
I mean, it's really, I think it's good as well. I open this business.
Right.
Right?
But then why FA space, a ton of advisors, you probably, when you coach some of the guys as well, like been through this. So like what do you think then is like the main thing, right? The main barrier that makes the difference between like, if you open up chicken rice, maybe you write a book, right? And
Yeah
then you
lor.
want everybody to read and
Yeah.
so what do you think is like the main difference?
My
between
personal opinion
Yeah.
might be because of the industry practice maybe. Like for some other spaces, this is like their prospecting guidelines per se. Or you meet up within 2 weeks, you need to go and contact the person. Then I mean, the market will adjust accordingly. The moment an FA asks you coffee, wow, lie lor. It's like that mah. But you don't be so transactional lor. That's why I say during the catch up, if it's a catch up, then you just catch up genuinely only. That's my style lah, because I mean on social media it's the same thing ma. That was my at the start initially. Remember I told you that time I said like, wow, see I post this type of thing will be very fake or not. Then,
I remember that one.
and then I'm like, after a while, everybody say who I am is reflected on social media also ma. Which as long as I'm being genuine, being myself, okay sometimes need to balance between some serious and my personality. I'm really more of the chiao personality so need to find a balance between the two. But I'm still me lah.
Right.
Yeah. So to answer the question, probably is the stigma or what people have been doing. But then the question will be, for the client to feel this way, means they probably see a disparity there already. So it means like, for example, at the start, when in secondary school, you always bully this guy. Suddenly you go and talk until like you like some holy person. Oh, I need to help you. Walao, of course he think you fake also.
Right.
But I mean no choice lah. If last time you are
okay.
CB, then no choice anymore. That's your problem anymore.
Right.
So I probably think is this maybe disparity of
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah lah.
That's a good point. Because one of the things is, the people that we met, let's say 10 years ago, and if we have not met them ever again, right? This means that their last impression of us were back to that time where maybe you were being an asshole or whatnot, right? Or maybe you were just being a rude dick. But then you fast forward 10 years later, you become a different person because we changed, so on and so forth, right? And I think the key problem is just that I think the people who have not met you for the last 10 years, they have not caught up with who you are yet, right?
Of course.
Yeah, and that's why, back to what you're saying, I think that's why, like, the whole idea is we have to meet them a little bit more times, maybe 1, 2, 3 more times, right? To kind of like catch up and kind of catch up with, okay, so now Deon is like that. Last time the Deon 跟这样的 Deon 不一样, right? Yeah. So in fact, you'll be more like the first catch up or whatnot might even just be like a showcase of like a different person. Then after that, the next couple one need some time for them to get used to you.
But I mean, I feel those that very long never meet me maybe will have the impression that, okay, okay, I mean, I'll be a bit more mature, a bit more serious, but my base is I'm still the same jiao kiao. But when it comes to the work side, and that's where I become more serious about it.
How will you prepare? Let's say some advisor watching the show ask you, right? Say ask and say like, hey, what if 10 years ago I really an asshole? You know, not the most popular, not the nicest, 真的做一个 CB, and then now I want to do warm, but then I scared,
How to answer
yeah. What will you do? Like if let's say, 10, 15 years ago and throughout the last 10 years, right, 你就是一个 asshole, you're a CB. Then now you enter the industry.
I'm also a CB lah, but I'm not that type of CB So, then I think the question is,
Does it mean
Wait,
would there be no hope? Do you think there's no hope? Why? War market, 你不可以
not no hope, but it'll be more difficult because, and I think it should be yourself lah. I think the 重点 is be yourself. So, okay, like context is after I got together with my now wife, right? I didn't have that much social interaction also. It's just me and her. We just closed off. Then suddenly I joined this industry. I'm like, wow, xiao. Past 10 years, I also got not much social network. I also never spend time with friends and everything. So then that was the challenge that I have to deal with, Then, yeah, but those that know me already know me for my personality, and I wasn't that bad of a person. But now you ask me if she was a bad person in the past, then you need to showcase that you changed, at least.
Right.
Doesn't mean last time you were a bad person means you will forever be a bad person. But probably you need more help in the awareness portion.
Right.
I don't know, maybe showcase social media or what, but people will still think you're fake. But until now, people also think I chui. No difference, but you cannot make everybody happy. You win some, you lose someone.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. And is warm something that you're still doing right now? And let's say we define warm as prospects, means they are not even clients at all. Yeah, is warm still a big source of?
Yeah, of course.
How do you sustain that, right? That's the question that people would love to ask, because usually you hear the stories before, right? First 2-3 years you do warm, after that your warm runs dry, blah blah blah, and then people try to go with referrals, so on and so forth, right? Which I know you kind of do referrals also, but since you're still doing warm, then how is it? Because like do you feel like, okay, just because you have a huge network, or is it more like you were able to go back to them again, so on and so forth? Like, how do you still have warm after like 6-7 years in business?
On one hand is your existing pool, referrals is one. Then, I mean, you still will have other activities also. Like, for example, I play MLBB, I play poker, whatever hobbies that you have, you get to meet new people also.
So do you intentionally do that? Like,
No, I mean, of course, that is something that you have to enjoy. I mean, I tried to pick up golf, but not really my thing. I don't really enjoy. Yeah, so through all these different activities that you have, it has to be interest. If you like art school, whatever, art class or whatever.
Right.
Like now I'm gymming also. You meet a lot of people in the gym also. Just to constantly increase the pool also. But intentional one is you need to be outside at least, knowing new people at least.
Referrals?
Referrals also. But referrals sometimes you can't control also.
Do you do like the active referrals portion? Like there are always two forms of referrals, right?
Yeah.
One is the people knock on the door, the other one is like you do the asking.
I do, but that portion is not that concrete as of now yet. Yeah, still need a lot of room for improvement, that portion. So I don't think it's that sustainable as of now. Until now, 5-6 years also, I haven't crafted out the sustainable portion. How to have sustainable portion? Yes, that's the ultimate end goal that I want to work towards also.
Right. Do you feel like your years in the business gets easier or harder?
I think easier. Experience is one. Like after a while, with all the achievements and stuff, sort of like forms your accolade. It's like the brand, people already know that, okay, you're of a certain caliber. Then two, one is their perceived image. The second one is your internal confidence also. That's one. Then management also helped me quite a bit also.
Right.
Because I think last time before coming to management, I thought like, 1 year production, I really struggling to clear. I still need to go and teach coach these guys.
Yeah.
Is that going to be more difficult? No? But actually, no. I just
Really?
learned how to balance the time a lot better. Actually, I clear the. I think that. What year was it? 2021. I cleared all my production stuff at the first half already. Then I can settle the team side at the later half. Yeah, so I think you just get better at time management. Then you need to delegate lah, like hire a PA and stuff to help
Right.
also.
So you move out in management in when? Like after how many years in business?
2020.
So there's about 4 after 4 years.
3-4 years.
4 years. Yeah. What? Usually there's always just the usual two paths, like either go on management, senior, AD, and then director in the future. But then there's the other route of like just going the producer route, right? So what made you choose one over the other?
As in, all the way, I know I want to be in a management position anyway. Like, all the way, ma. Whenever it comes to, I like working in teams, I like leading a team. That's always been me, ma. But as to whether or not I plan, my management journey, actually, I didn't plan for it. I tell you, it's like
Accident eh?
it's like a shotgun promotion. It's like one day calculate, then have this candidate bring in 2-3 more, then I'm like, shit, I fulfilled the criteria. Should I promote? I don't feel ready at that time.
Right.
Then I'm like, okay, take up the challenge. Then yeah, learn from there.
So it's like so you had
Really
no intention.
really accident. Accidentally promote.
So you move up, and then like how big is your team right now?
Now it's about 8.
8. So and you're still doing sales, right? So, I know a few agency leaders. Like last time when I worked management, right? Like I spend like 80% of my time like on management, and recruitment, so on and so forth. I don't really do too much sales because that's where the focus is, right? But you're still doing your own personal sales and production, right? So what's the thought process behind that? Is it a cultural thing within the agency or company, or is it more like you have a certain thinking process behind it?
I think might be maybe the army side lah. It's like when you go through OCS, you have to go through a lot tougher, more difficult missions, But doesn't mean you have to do everything first, then you can lead your guy. But it'll be easier because like compared like when you go to the unit, all the exercises, it was not as tough as when you're in OCS, So then when your men are there tired, shag, it'll be easier to lead them also.
Right.
I believe by the leading by example sort of like motto lah per se.
Do you feel so? Basically, the whole point in essence is that you want to, do your own production and then kind of like really walk the talk, right?
Yeah.
Lead by example, so on and so forth. Do you feel like that could also be a factor that hinders your progress and learning in management? Because there has at some point in time some form of trade off, right?
Yeah,
So
of course. Definitely lah. So I think I just learned how to manage. I'm not fully using my time properly also. It's not like 24 hours. I segment everything for everything also. I still have my own lifestyle, sometimes watch Netflix. These are time that if I want to brush up on the management side, I can use it also. But not until a point where I become very drained out also. Yeah, because everything is focused on all these things. My base personality I won't enjoy it lah. Yeah, so trade-off is like, unless I'm really at that operating max capacity already,
Right.
then I think it will lah.
okay.
But I don't think I reached that stage yet.
One thing you mentioned just was very interesting. I'm curious to find out also. So, there are people, and honestly, when it first came in, a lot of advisors came in. It's because like of the sky is the limit income, time flexibility, so on and so forth, right? And then everybody to a large degree, most of them wants to like, okay, I earn some form of money and then spend time with my wife, dog, whatever, right? So, how do you kind of like manage kind of like that situation, right? Whereby on one hand, you still need to earn an income, meet people, so on and so forth. But on the other hand, you also want to like chill and 做bo. Be a lam noa.
How to balance lah.
Yeah, like how do you do that? Because what I've realized is also that sometimes some advisors when they go into a noa state, sometimes don't know how to come back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So like my personal journey, like I said 1-8 I started producing. So because I'm someone that lack discipline, so always went in the office in the morning, then maybe I reach home at 10, 11, 12, depends on, for the first 2-3 years. Only until circuit breaker come, then I'm like, then kena lock at home, I scream already, I siao. Then I'm like, wow, how Okay, but because of 2-3 years, I already sort of formed a habit already.
Right.
But then the sad part was at the circuit breaker, the first day, then my family eats dinner quite often at home. So my mom cook, then we all eat. Then I'm like, wow, what is feeling so weird? It's like, wow, then I realized that, wow, actually, that time I placed too much focus on work already. Until 2-3 years never eat a proper dinner together.
Right.
So that's when I realized that, okay, shit, maybe I neglect this portion already. But that's my problem, because I got no discipline. So I needed to discipline myself at the start. Until now, I also think I need to discipline myself. Yeah, but in different aspects. So got trade-off. So at least now I know I need to try to allocate at least a specific day to at least meet my parents.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Agree with that.
But that was my problem at the start.
Ah.
But if you're asking about new advisors, I think personal, I think to have balance, I think you need to earn it first. It's like you come and want to have balance. Walao siao. It's not like your work site you see no balance already. So when you say you want to do all these things, ask yourself honestly is it because you really need it, or is an excuse to run away from the pain? Because, okay, I'll be fair our industry is really damn tough. Then after you keep getting rejected, after a while it takes a toll already on the mental state. It's like, wow, siao. It's like, you're going out to kena punch in the face, then you still have to go out. But I think it just gets easier. It's like after a while it's like you train martial arts. After all, you keep getting boxed. Somehow you become stronger Yeah, but you need to go through the whole process You need to get punched in the face first Not ask you to enjoy the pain, but just get better at it
Right. But there's a lot of people that don't want to.
That's why I told I mean that's what you told.
How do you overcome that? Like especially the rejection. I mean, working long hours is one, right? And honestly, after being in the industry for a while, I honestly don't think a lot of advisors work 16, 18 hours a day every day,
that's
right?
all.
I mean, there's always that time, freedom a little bit here and there. But I think what kills or what is more painful is usually on the mental side, right? The rejection, so forth. So how did you overcome that? Or at least kind of rejection still happens, right? Even till today. But how do you how do you see it? Right? What kind of perspective or what kind of lens you're wearing to look at it? Because some people could just wear the lens of Nabi is I rejection again. Then they cry and then they sad. Then after that, the next time they want to go for appointment, they feel very sad about the appointment even before the appointment started, right? And then we all know it is downhill. How do you what kind of lens, where, to see rejections, whether is it recruitment or even sales or prospecting?
I think because for me, I always like to grow and improve
Okay.
my personal one. It's like if I remain stagnant for too long, then I'll be damn sian. Because I just want to be better, just to better or improve myself So when it comes to this entire thing, one of the thought process I think was, like I told you at the start, I was damn ego one.
Yeah.
I realized that after a while, I tuned off a lot of other learning opportunities. Maybe because I'm in the industry for 4-5 years. Some Gina Kia come in first year, he achieved so much. Then last time the natural instincts would be to be he probably he come from a rich family, have a good network, have this, have that. Then after a while, I realized that it's no use It's to cushion myself only It doesn't benefit me in any way to say that this guy even if that's the case, that's your problem I mean you no network, you born in an average family, suck it up Then you just learn see even if you have a rich family, rich relatives, doesn't mean the relative need to buy from him he also has his own problem to deal with Then you go and learn from the person, then see how But same thing for sales also Sometimes during the appointment, you just come out saying, this guy no character, don't care for his family, don't believe in insurance, think investment not important, he want to invest himself. no use ma. It's to cushion
Yeah.
your own shit. Right? I think the thought process start to become different when you ask yourself, what can you do differently? Like you say, the Xiao no character, that means you also never present anything of value to him also. If you say he invests in himself better, that means he don't think he should put his money with you because he can do it himself. Ma. Then you will start to think, okay, Xiao, like that. Then what can I do to make him see that I invest for this guy, maybe it's better for him. Then you know what is the exact thing you need to tweak. Ma.
So you're looking for solutions rather than like
Yeah,
sticking
for me,
to
lah.
the
But
damn
but this one also got downhill lah. Like sometimes no problem, then you also want to find problem. Yeah, so it has to be a balance lah. Like
Right.
yeah lor. But that's me lah.
Was there a trigger that made you transit from this is something I'm very interested to find out. Was there a trigger that made you decide to like like Zach, right? Yeah, I had the first podcast with him, and then and in a similar way, it kind of like a bit of like okay, block out a lot of learning opportunities, ego, so on and so forth. So I wanted to find out from you like what was the trigger? Was there maybe multiple that one incident that made you feel like, you know what, this isn't serving me? Looking at other people, like giving reasons, make myself feel better, like isn't working, and then like I decide to work on myself, invest in programs, whatever it is. Well, was there like an incident or like a trigger that made you like, yeah, screw being a loser and making excuses?
Trigger would be at the start of 2020 or 2021 should be 2020 Then I'm like, okay, this year I maintain, but I think I can be a lot better. Like, okay, what is wrong? But you hear a lot of people also in the industry say like, my mentor chui, my this one there, my agency no support.
Yep, all the time. All the time.
I mean, then go and find yourself lah. So then I went to search, okay, see in the business, got what thing need to settle. Mindset, okay. Skills. That's why at the time, it was you and Daryl ma. Then I just go meet Daryl first. I texted you. I Insta DM me, 这个笑呀. Insta DM blue tick me. Lan leh. Then I'm like, okay, I meet Daryl, I talk, okay, I settle all the mindset shit with him. Then I'm like, I see you all at the X Factor thing. I say, link up with Ben. I need to. Same thing, but because of all the past few experience, like I told you, the ego thing, this ego thing didn't come in, ma. Didn't come in to be like, wow, 这个笑也 blue tick me, paid on from him already. No, ma, I'm like, okay, 这个笑也 okay, looks like he crafts some valuable shit. Okay, maybe I can learn from him also. Then the ego didn't come in, but it was because of whatever that happened at the past 2 years.
Like it wasn't good enough? Like you felt like the first 2 years wasn't like,
it was okay, it was
or
decent.
How much were you doing? Like if you were to
50-ish?
50, okay.
Decent or 20%.
Yeah, decent, yeah, it's decent,
it's okay, but
what made you still like,
I think it's my base personality. Like, I think I can do or be a lot better or more. I don't think I still reach my that ideal stage yet.
How would it look like though?
Actually, I also don't know. I really don't know. But
yeah,
it is true. I enjoy being in stressful positions. It's like feels like there's opportunity to clutch. I also don't know. I just like, because if sometimes things become too mundane or routine, then a bit boring already.
right.
And that's why I like playing games like MLBB, climb to the highest rank, this type of nonsense.
Right. And I remember there was this particular, it was quite funny, there was this particular person that, and just context, right, there's this person that wanted to join, inquire about our program and everything else, right? Then I think she... Right, and I remember you said something along like, I'm loose paraphrasing, okay, loose statements, words, right? I think your whole idea was basically like, if you are here in the industry and you don't want to invest in yourself, then like, why the fuck are you here? Yeah.
Oh yeah, something along those lines.
Something along those lines. Yeah. So share me like, what made you say that? Or rather, maybe the better question I want to ask is like, do you feel therefore like investing in yourself, whether is it like paying money, so on and so forth, it's like a necessity when you have a self-employed here as a FA in the industry? Or is it more like it's good to have lah, I just take company training, take my agency training, then don't pay money, and then like, because everybody is like, because agency-wise can provide trainings right? So then the question people have is like, okay, so why do I need to 拿钱出来, so what's your thoughts, is it like investing in yourself program, paying out money is a necessity for us to get to the next level, or is it more like, you want,
Personal opinion, I think if you can do it yourself, then you go and do lah. But at that time when I analyze my business, analyze myself, I cannot mah. Then I go and outsource mah. Instead of saying, oh, your agency, no support, no this, you see other side got this one. Same thing mah, the thought process is you also cannot control mah. That's why you see a lot of people, those that transition, jump here, jump there, jump there. You also never satisfied mah. Until you find one boss that you say this one, then he do for you. This one also cannot sustain mah. Then my personal opinion is that won't be a good boss also. You follow this type, walao eh. He the boss or you the boss? What the fuck? What the fuck? Where all this self-entitlement
especially
come
if like the manager or the director like join field for every single appointment.
Where this self-entitlement come from? You think you fucking zai meh? To me lah. Then if you so fucking zai, then you can do it yourself also. So coming back to the question whether need to invest outside, if you can do it yourself and you feel you can see the results, you can see your growth, I mean good for you lah. But you need to be brutally honest with yourself also lah. If you whatever that you're doing yourself is not working or you cannot see result, that means it's not working lah. You can attend all the company training, all these things. If you really see improvement, then good lah. That means you apply or learn something lah. But you don't grow in any way, then you bluff yourself that you already attend all this training. That's your problem lah. No way. So that was my reflections until that stage. I'm like, okay, I think with whatever company, agency provide, I didn't reach the cap already. Okay, but I want to go some more. How? Then I go and source for a solution mah.
How much have you spent or rather invested so far?
So far?
Overall, everything from the beginning all the way until now, whether is it a $500 thing or 10,000 or 20,000?
Ballpark maybe about 40, 50K.
40, 50, right? Yeah, so, there are people, and, for myself, I invested in 300,000, right? I just invested another 30 this year. So, there are people who invested money, whether is it a $300 workshop or 3-day whatever, right? They invest this money, but yet they don't get results. Right? And then they just go for every damn thing that's available. CFP lah, CHFC lah, whatever, right? Yeah. So what do you think is in your opinion, is the main
problem
reason why they're not getting results? Is it because they only just like the shiny object feeling of just learn more, feel good, and then they don't take action?
I think it's the action part. So you learn so many things but you never apply, also no use mah.
Have you encountered anyone that really you see
lot,
them
on
your Instagram stories or anything, every day go, but then after that, at the end of the year, their results still, more or less.
Yeah. But I mean, if you are thirsty for it, I mean, good for you lah. But knowledge you don't apply it is also useless, You know so many things under the sun, but you got no prospect to meet you. You share who? Your mother? Chapa liao. You share with your mother, man. Cannot what? You need to go and find people to apply also what? So I think might be the application portion, but actually I don't disrespect the grind for knowledge, because I think that's also important.
Correct.
But you need to strike a balance also. So you must balance between knowledge and execution also lah.
See, you put about 40-50K. Not exactly a small amount also, let's be honest, right? Relative to, I mean, of course you earn a lot lah, right?
No.
But just making 40-50K is still a significant amount, right? So, we're not afraid that, I put 10 grand, 5,000, whatever, right? And then I don't get an ROI out of it. What if it's, nowadays a lot of coaching, a lot of training, we all know, right? And there's always good and then not so good ones, right? But there are times that you might invest in. Have you had that thought of what if, I put money into this, then this person end up screwed, then I scream, right? And so on and so forth.
Same thing lah. I think it's like the starting a business mentality. Walao, the guy tell you confirm, okay, like for example, let's say you start a business, he promise you everything under the sun, you implement this, blah blah blah, your cost will minus by 50%. Oh, sounds good. But when don't happen, you cannot do anything. I mean, try your ways to get your money back, but then other than that, got what thing can guarantee? But the problem needs to be big enough for you to even want to source for this in the first place. So it's like, if you think you need to improve in this area, find a person that can help you, but you also cannot make that person guarantee. Also bo bao one. How got what 100% confirm investment, but you have to see the other person may have different successful students or whatever also. So is his problem or your problem? You don't know, because ours is a lot on soft skills on.
Yeah.
There's nothing much tangible that we can take away if you want to upgrade for our industry specific. Then, but you need to invest lah. I mean, if you can do it yourself and if there's no problem, then you just carry on lah. But other than that, if you really feel that okay, you analyze the whole business process, this one needs to fix. You invest, go find another one lah. No choice lah. Money can earn back on lah, but you also never know which is the correct one.
Yeah. But what if they scared, right? Because like you invest already, and I have invested like one before, and then it's just mediocre. You know, not that it's like cui until like what, but it's just 这样子 you know. But some people, and for me, it's like I truly believe like just have to keep putting in work, right? I mean, the truth is like whether you do in crypto or Tesla or whatever, no guarantee on it, right? So there's always a kind of risk that comes together. But at least for me, it's like the problem of not investing and not finding out, right? You see, if I don't take the risk, my problems still remain the same. Right? So there's this saying like you either can keep your money but you also keep your problems, or you can give your money away and then like your problems get solved to a large degree, right? So but then there are people who get burnt, right? You know,
of course.
Have you ever like experienced like whether is it a doesn't matter the quantum of how much, but have you invested and then it's like, wow, this one.
Of course lah, definitely will have one lah, but no choice ma. It's like you bring it to the dating context. You date your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you know this is the person you confirm marry, man. You also don't know what, but you cannot, because of that fear that this one may not be the one, then you also don't date also. Same concept, but that one dating no money, then can man. That one is your time, you go and spend few years with the person, in the end, run away with some other guy, run away with some. You also no choice, ma. You can say, past 3 years I waste, it's wasted lah, but it's gone already, what? What can you do about it?
You know, I noticed something about, and based on our past relationships over the years, we know each other. I noticed something about you. I realized like you have this very, I don't know if the word practical is the most appropriate or closest word. But I think you have very matter of fact mindset. Means like this happened, 就这样子你要什么 then move on. Kind of like mentality. It's like if karaban then karaban lah, like.
Hell, cry man. Okay lah, cry lah. You really very pain lah.
Has it always been like who you are all the time, even back in like OCS secondary school, so on and so forth, like 这样子啦, move on, cry a bit, then fuck it lah, then after that, okay, carry on to the next stage. Or is it more like after inside industry, then you start to like 比较
No lah, maybe personality wise lah. I think maybe upbringing wise, they damn toxic masculinity. So it's like, no, guys cannot show fear, cannot show emotion.
Right.
You must always be strong. I mean, got pros and cons lah. That's why maybe so ego also at the start.
Right.
Yeah, but just take the good parts from this one. Even though it's toxic masculinity, but at least you can take away some things from it. Because to a certain degree, it's also true. It's like, okay, you hurt already. Then what? I mean, then it's a problem. Then you need to know what you need to do. I see a lot of people say, I try my best already. But the toxic masculinity teaches you that sometimes your best is not enough also.
I agree.
You try your best, okay lah. I'm not saying your effort is cui lah, but then your best is not enough. That means you need to be better.
You know, this is very interesting because last time I always used to have this like, hey, do your best lah. Just do your best. Your best is enough. Kind of bullshit, right? Then I realized that over the years, even when speaking to my friends and so on and so forth, right, I think this mindset of like doing your best, right, it's not necessarily a good one now because everybody will just say that, hey, at least you did your best, right? As some form of koyok, you know, to
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
make
yeah.
you feel
To
good
ease
about
the
yourself.
pain, yeah.
To ease the pain. But the truth is like doing your best need not lead to results, man. Right? At the end of the day, no one. At the end of the day, right? I truly believe like no one gives a shit about how
Yeah lor.
much best you do.
Yeah lah.
Like, oh, you sleep for 3 hours a night. Oh, like no one gives a fuck, right?
That's your problem, ah.
Yeah, like you think clients will care? Like even as a advisor, you think clients will care that you stay up every night 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. to watch the US news. But then if the investment still go down, it still go down. Correct? They don't care. Like
Yeah.
right?
It's like that one. I mean, life is like that one.
Right.
How's yeah?
Yeah, so which is why, right, I reframed and I have a better version that I felt like it's a lot more, it's a little bit hardcore, but I think it's more empowering, which is instead of like doing your best, do what is required.
Yeah lah, yeah.
Yeah, do what's required. Because like if do what is required, it's very objective. You will definitely get the outcome.
Yeah.
Do your best is like very subjective.
I think if you do your best, there's too much leeway for whatever. Wow,
Yeah,
I feel
that's-
burnout. I feel this is really my best
Yeah,
already.
that's true.
Because the time I chao ta, my mental state not correct, or my ama go hospital, walao, a lot of niao can come out already. But no choice, it's like, let's say you go and run for whatever company convention or what. Also, you see, my first year that I really chiong is because I wanted to go and propose to my wife at Iceland.
Yeah.
Lan suck thumb. You think by the time December come, I haven't hit, I not stressed, man. I stress. But then to me, it's like, wow, siao, if I don't hit this one,
Yeah.
I miss the Iceland, the ring I already buy already, then how?
Oh.
lah.
You made it, right?
Yeah, lah, of course. Made it, then can say. No, but that time is my first year that I tried for all this company thing. I also
Right.
don't know how to do. But
yeah.
it's through all this pain, through all the ambiguity that you go through, then you just become better only. So after you clear the first one, wow, propose, wow, sucky. See this lah, wow, propose to Iceland, wow, sibei romantic. My wife don't think anything lah, but okay lah, I'll take it lah. I think quite sucky lah. Then
Yeah. How old were you back then? I think you proposed like
1.8 was
That's about like 23.
20 plus or 24, I think.
Yeah, 24.
I
Yeah, that's,
think
yeah, that's
24.
pretty.
Yeah, then I cannot console myself. 2018 you don't hit, 2019 I tell myself I already tried my best already. Then don't go Iceland, then go Snow City. Cannot. I try my best also no use. I have to get it done. Ring all by already, I commit already, I scream already, this fucker, I better hit that shit already. No choice. So when you put yourself in this type of state, then okay, then that's where you can start to improve. So I also start gymming on this thing. I see no discipline. So I go hire a PT to at least help me with the accountability. But you think gym not pain, pain, my muscle every time sore, also pain, but I also cannot see any result at the start. But after, 6 months, actually my chest started to go a bit shape. Now still can improve, but I never control the diet. Not that our priority, because to me, it's like, I just want to become healthier compared to last time. Then that's my objective. So you see people say, I join fitness first. People say, hey, you fitness last. You go gym 1 year also no difference. Because it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Because my goal is just to be healthier compared to who I was last time. Last time work, eat, supper, this, that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm doing the same shit, but at least I work on myself a bit also. So is it an improvement to me? Yes, it is.
How do you stick so focused then? To like, okay, this is my objective. My objective is to just maybe work out 3, 4, 5 times a week. Diet next time. Right, this is what I prioritize. But then this is the goal. But then when other people will come and nail on, right? So how do you kind of like? Does it affect you like at all, or even a little bit, or a lot? Or is it more like, you just like laugh along and then like, you understand, but then like you still you're okay because like your goal is still there. Like, how do you kind of like block that out?
I think the people that shit on you is people that are closer to you also.
Right.
Like all this fitness last, fuck you. Can name drop or not? Can name drop the fucker. So I mean, to them is like, how I see is they will say all these things is because maybe they think based on the effort that I put inside the gym, maybe it can be better. But they don't know that actually my goal is just to be healthier. I happy anymore.
Right.
So if you ask me, my wife also understand this one. It's just like, if you ask a smoker to quit smoking, no use one. Because he still want to continue smoking. He himself will come to awareness or whatever, then he will go and quit smoking or whatever. So you ask me why I want to go gym or at least be healthier is maybe because in the future, maybe when you start a family, I also want to make sure that I'm there for my kids. Later halfway, 10 years old, I die of heart attack, cui already, mah. So that's the main motivation to being healthier. So all this is just noise only. Those that genuinely want to shit on you, okay, that doesn't even matter.
Right.
Those that are close to you, they shit on you, you can see as they're trying to help you improve as well. I don't know.
Are you going for... You did MDRT already, right? Obviously. A few times. So, are you going for COT? I think we had a conversation about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to find my why also, because I think all the things that I have achieved in my life is because I think my why was very strong. Like the wife thing, the Iceland thing, what I want is confirm is yes or no. Now. Very clear cut. But I feel all these higher achievements don't really have that much of a purpose to me yet.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to find. No?
Do you had a... So, was COT something that you always wanted? Or was it more like, your peers knowing that you are pretty, like,
My
solid?
peers I think my peers
Right.
Feels like it's a good to have.
Have you tried running for COT, I don't know, maybe like last year or 2 years ago? Because your peers say, hey, bro, I觉得你 you MRT cannot lie, you need to do COT. Have you tried using that, like using a peer's reasons to kind of like, and how did that kind of like really
I try but at the end I also chao da halfway already. So 2021 was one of the closest.
Right.
Because I don't know, because of whatever, I can't remember the details of what happened, but actually by June, halfway, mid-year mark, I was already halfway there already.
Right.
So actually, if I just multiply down, I should be able to clear already. But then the remaining half of the year, I just chao da already. I just locked myself at home. I also don't know what happened already.
Right.
So I tried using the peers thing, but didn't really work that much for me. Yeah, so then I just backtracked to all my different experiences. The Iceland one was one.
Yeah.
Back then in OCS also. Why I wanted to keep going to OCS because I was in the OB's batch.
Right.
Then after that, I got one secondary school friend. He was one batch ahead. So he was in OCS, then he got this, what do you call it? I cannot remember what night, a social night or what.
Yeah.
A social night. Then he cannot find anybody to bring. He say, hey, I bring Shilin cannot. I said, fuck you! I said, siao. Then Shilin goes, okay, anyway, it's your friend, can go and see. Wow, to me, I show. I just thought like, wow. 小gia during the sit test, hey sir, I 表演 I fucking 表演 max bro during the fucking the sit test.
What the story? Oh my god.
Then that's why that's the motivation to go into OCS. I mean for the wrong reasons or whatever, I don't know lah. I mean all the way I think I can be a leader, you can learn good skills, but that was the main driving factor. So I feel that's why I feel the why needs to be strong enough, then you can do all this extreme stuff. Pre-peng it was also really not easy to go in anymore. Then but that was the motivating factors lah.
Right. So if right now for COT, if anyone come and detail you and say that, hey,
that's why no feels. I trying to find. I keep talk to people. I say, oh, but I feel that this is something that I need to do also. Like I say, I always want to be a better version of myself.
Yeah.
I feel this one is something that I also want to clear, but I cannot find a reason to put myself in this kind of make or break situation. Really sak tama. If like for example, if I don't go CS, then I cannot give my wife the experience also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's because you're more comfortable in terms of like, because obviously 7 years in the business, you did very well. Money is good.
Of course.
Right.
I think,
do you feel like that is also a factor that make you
of course
question like, hey, actually do I also want to go through all the pain?
Of course. Of course. Confirm. As in, I'll be honest with myself also. It's like, wow, you need to put through so much pain. Because whatever that I did, I need to times 2. Worth it. So the moment I feel if you in whatever that you do, you have this type of worth it. I think 3 already. Because that one is Iceland. Wow, I mean, I can pay for the ticket, but different.
Yeah.
It's a different that, okay, because of this work achievement, then I can bring my wife more say.
But then what was kind of like a why then when you're achieving like or striving to do your MDR, especially the first one, or even like maintenance after that, right? Or maintenance. What do you think like your?
I think maybe might be the like our company every year they will send the voucher thing to our clients. If you are the top 20%, I don't want my client to ask me 1 year, why this year no voucher? Sounds stupid, but I think that's the main pushing factor to at least maintain. Well, 1 year you don't have voucher, and all my clients also fucking quite learn. They can ask me, they never eat or whatever, but I feel it's the song that they receive, they see my face, they
Right.
know that okay, this agent is still doing decently. To me lah. So to answer the question of the COT, I feel got too many worth it lah. Chiong this one. I think too much hesitation there. So I need to find something that is no hesitation mah. So you see, like for example, the whole gym thing is because of the person I want to be for my future family mah.
Yeah.
That's why I just be healthier can anymore. But strong enough mah for me mah. The reason go through the gym, wow, wake up, sleep 3 hours, still go down mah.
Yeah, I saw your stories.
Still can show up mah. But yeah lor, I still haven't found it.
Right.
That's why I meet him today.
Okay, wow. Well, that's very interesting. Would you say then people need a very strong, like probably need a why, but do you think people therefore need a very strong why, to get the MDRT? And the reason why I ask this question is because the way I look at it is that, first of all, MDRT, if you talk about income, also not a lot nowadays, right? So which means to say that people that join the industry or maybe struggling and want to get the MDRT, right? They probably can do it because the motivation is more of a pain thing, right? Because like not enough money, so on and so forth for their future. But then for COT, it's like it's not a pain thing anymore because because if you just do MDRT for the next 10 years, right? Like I think easily plus recurring add in, I think every year you do one MDRT plus recurring, I think easily 300,000-400,000 at some point in time. So that is not so much on like a pain, which is why you need kind of like a strong mind, right? Then what do you think then for MDRT? Because we talk about like it's more of a pain, right? Do you think people there still need a strong why that is, not because 因为我没有钱 that's why I 做 MDRT, or do you think they need like a expiring kind of thing, like I want to be an MDRT kind of thing?
I think people operate better with pain lah. So if at that level still cannot, that means it's not pain enough mah. It's like that one what. It's really not pain enough for the person mah. You say you want this one. I need to have at least 8K monthly income. Then I feel I can lead a comfortable life. 2K you can lead comfortable life. Then you cannot go out eat so much. 2K you also can what. That's why 8 is a good to have mah.
So it's kind of basically go back to their default baseline where their internal baseline is lah, right?
But as you use money, I think not sustainable also.
We talk about this, right? I always say like money is, and I have to learn this hard way also. Like once you earn a certain amount of income, you get to the next level. Money is never the best motivator. In fact, it's the worst.
Yeah, a bit chui.
Yeah, like it's like let's say we earn half a mil for like every year, right? Then it's like, hey, bro, you want to do 1 mil, but then you need to work 3 times as hard.
Yeah lah.
Then you ask yourself, wow, okay,
Yeah lah.
half a mil more, not bad lah. Buy another buy another Pepsi. But then, is it worth the pain, right? Yeah. So that's really the thing. So if someone wants to achieve MDRT, let's say not new advisor, but maybe 2-3 years in the business, right? This is something that I want to go in a different angle on and know your thoughts about it, because it's easy, the usual advice for someone who joined to do MDRT. But what about those people who 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right, have been in the industry, but they have never gotten MDRT? What do you think? It's kind of like the, in your opinion, kind of like the couple of like 1 or 2 main problems that they should look at, or like they should question about, right? Because if your first year you never achieve, right, we can say that it's really because you're new. 2 years, maybe okay. But if you're 3, 4, 5 years, you have enough runway of time, right? So what do you think then is like kind of like the problems, if you were to look at yourself or even look at your peers and other people?
For this group, I think might be experience. Sometimes what I mean by experience is, to them they feel they already got this fixed like statistics or how to gauge their effort. So like for example, if let's say they give 80% effort, maybe they will end of the year at 20K FYC. But the 80 is what you see it already. So they know that they top up the remaining 20, they also cannot hit.
Right.
That's why they don't even try mah. So sometimes I say experience sometimes also can be double-edged sword.
Right.
It's like,
right.
I know that this is my pace that I'm supposed to run at. This is what I the max that I can do already. That time I do until like that, I chiong, I 1 month I earn 10K, but then I burn out for 4 months. So that's what I mean by they feel they already got this type of experience. I think lah. So sometimes experience also may not be a good thing. That's why you see those new joiner, They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
You guide them, they just go and chong, so
Yeah.
then they can do ma.
Yeah.
Then this group of people, same thing lor. The cushion, the ego again lor. Oh, because he gets network zai lah. Because he come here, he do this one lah. Because he need to have this income to support the family lah.
Yeah.
And and then you're still cushioning yourself also what.
Right.
So it's all this, I feel lah, it should be the experience part.
Wow, okay, that's powerful. Because
I
now that you
think lah.
mention, now you mention, sometimes especially now I realize, kind of so think about it, right? There are people that around these years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right, never achieve MDRT and beyond, right? They will say like, oh, last year, it's kind of like last year I did 30 with all my effort. This means that this year maybe I can only do 35 rather than MDRT or whatnot, right? And they kind of limit themselves. And I think this is why, like, I think I told one of our, last night we said it, I said like, we talk about investing in funds, right? Then what do they always say? Don't let your the past performance doesn't detect the future, right? But yet, I think this is really the main problem, right? Which is we allow our past experiences to dictate what we're going to do or how we're going to achieve in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I say when you really want to do MDRT or you want to do COT, why ma? For what ma?
Right.
So to them, supposed to be a pain driver, but that means they don't feel pain enough ma. Yeah ma. That's why I say. You see, last time in sales, all the more traditional one ask you to load yourself with liability.
Yeah.
Buy car, buy house, buy this one.
Yeah.
All 一屁股债. It's actually to force yourself to need to clear ma. It's a very toxic way, but you try to understand the mechanics behind it also ma.
Right.
That was the underlying meaning ma. So now when you put yourself in a so free and easy state, 30 also okay ma. Then you want MDRT for what? Same thing lor. That's why I keep questioning. Okay, I want COD for what?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to find a pain that's strong enough to push me lah.
Right.
So don't know. Maybe ask my wife beat me. Not sure yet.
Okay. Yeah. One thing interesting about like psychology, about like human behaviors, right? There are two types of motivators, right? One is really like pain. So if you don't earn money, you're gonna die, you're going bankrupt. That's the main motivator, right? But once it crosses the trash line, or what I call a comfort baseline, right? Then the other aspect of it is what we call like unfulfilled desire. Right? It's no longer pain anymore, right? It's unfulfilled desire. And I think this might be a perspective also, which is, right now it's like, okay, if you want to go for COT, 1 mil, KOT, whatever, right? If we start looking at like pain, then it's not gonna get you there.
Yeah.
Right? So which means to say the key area that you look at is like kind of like unfulfilled desire. Right? What are some of the desires that you have that is unfulfilled? So you think about like master hierarchy of needs, right? Once we go up to like self-actualization right at the top, right? Like those needs are unfulfilled. It's not a pain.
Yeah.
Right?
Confirm.
Like Bill Gates is not going to feel sad that he didn't set up a foundation. Right? It's just a desire that's unfulfilled, right? Yeah. So I think maybe what we really look at, and some of our advisors who are also going for COT, is really look at like what's the desire that's unfulfilled. And then in a very weird, ironic way, finding that desire, that unfulfilled desire, right, that will cause enough pain, if that makes sense. It's like if you are not this kind of person, like, you cannot.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So I think it's kind of like a two different kind of behavior, or like quote unquote different forces for it, right? Yeah. I think this is also why like not a lot of people want to do COT. I truly believe it's not because they cannot do it. I truly believe like if people want to do it, they can definitely do COT. It's just like you mentioned, it's just like they can't wrap their head around like, okay, why, right? Maybe bother.
Yeah lah. So that's why to try to counter, I reference to my gym also ma.
Yeah.
With all these routines or whatever, you can take out emotions out from the equation ma. It's like if I feel like going to gym, then I go. I don't know. I set the time, then I just go ma.
Yeah.
So probably I feel I need to discipline myself if I really want it lah. That should be one of the daily.
But even that, for the gym one, there is still a core reason why you go in the first place.
Yeah lah.
Right.
Fair
Like,
lah.
if
But
you
that one
can
also not very pain ma. If the pain I can feel, I also cannot forecast my child 10 years old, then I die ma. It feels like a good to have also ma. It doesn't mean I felt unhealthy, I will die early ma. That one also no guarantee ma. But I feel that one is a strong enough reason. I also not sure.
Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap this up, and if you watch the podcast, I'm gonna ask, which is, if looking back 7 years ago, right, knowing what you know now and what you've been through, what is that one thing you would change or like do differently?
I think my advice will be to myself will be mix with the better people. I think they got the saying what if the
Yeah, average of five
the
people,
average
yeah.
of 5 people. I think that one is really true one. So if true, then I go and reference to secondary school, neighborhood school, Chui. I see those people that more A-side, more eloquent. They got into better schools and everything also. So actually also got thought process because last time same thing because of ego. They all talk like that one lah. But it's not. It's no use. But you go and see they actually help each other improve, just become better. But all the neighborhood school is just day by day. So I think all this, the environment that you're in also sort of forms the mentality of who you can become also. So you can find the right people to mix with, you all can become better together also. So I think who you hang out with is quite important also lah.
Have you managed to find, or like how do you manage to kind of like, find these people? Obviously, if you right now are successful, which you are, then obviously this means that there are certain people that you hang out with that kind of influence you as well, right? So how do you find these people?
Don't have to be from our industry specific also mah. It can be business owners, it can be whatever.
Right.
Depends on how you want to, or how you want to improve in general. And if this is really important to you, you can source it out mah. It's the same thing mah. Where am I gonna find this? I also don't know mah.
Do you think a lot of people underestimate like the importance of environment, even though we know the quote?
Yeah, I feel underestimate lah.
Right.
So,
But how to do it? Because like usually the bubble is within the agency, right? Because that's how you go in, and this is basically a bubble. That's basically a default environment already. So, but like we mentioned, at some point in time, there are certain changes in the agency that has some politics. It's not as positive anymore. So
wow.
Is it again back to like?
Can say don't go office lah. Can say. You like that mah? Really mah? Chui mah? If that place becomes a chui environment, then you cannot hang out there already what? I mean, 一次 weekly meeting or whatever, go down, show your face, but spend time outside lor. Go and source better quality friends, hang out around them, work together, okay mah?
Yeah.
Then the what now called AAS, join this sort of environment also okay mah?
I didn't pay him to say that, but
Got under table.
I didn't. Yeah, I realized there's two types of two groups of people. I think when it comes to environment, I think one is like there is the group of people that feels like the environment is not serving them, then they want to find somewhere else, right? But then there's the other group of people, right, that knows that even though the environment is not serving them, right, they like to be in the environment, right? Because it's comfortable, familiarity, and then it's kind of like 人家没有做工，你也可以不用做。Right? Yeah. So I think like, both also have kind of like their own challenges, right? Because like, if you are obviously with this group of people, even if you want to get out like the other group, it's not easy. Right? Because they always need to be what I call like one of the biggest things, right, is that like you need to stop this sense of belonging. Right? Yeah. For this, let's say I love the environment. Wow, 每个人每天 do nothing, chill or drinking, whatever, right? But then even though I know that it's not serving me in terms of financials, right, or the life that I want to be, then the hardest part is, I truly feel the hardest part is not only about like telling them that you don't want to meet them, but it's more like you need to isolate yourself. And that's the hardest part. Because if you think about it, right, and talk about, I think I was like talking to my coach, you know about isolation, right? It's like, this is the reason why they trust in prison.
Okay.
Because when you go to prison, right, they're isolating you away from the society. Because isolation is way more painful than just physical like beating and whatnot. Even like look at within prisons, right? If you misbehave within the prison, they throw you into, I think, solitary. So like so again, isolation. Right? We talk about army, go DB, right? Yeah, it's isolation, right? So I think that's the hard part, right? It's like we have to go through the pain of isolation before we can find the next environment that we want to be in. Right? If not, we'll always be trapped in that. And that's why I truly believe like that's the hardest part. Imagine you tell your friends you want to meet, or they come and tell you, hey bro, what happened last time, blah blah blah. Then you're like, yeah, Yeah. And then the problem is like, even after there are two stages, right? Once it's kind of leave already. And then the other one is like, now you need to find the next group, right? And then it's a whole new process because this next group might not accept you. You don't know where to find. You don't know how to, you might not know how to fit in. Right? So then you end up in a half-fucked situation whereby you left already, you haven't found a new home, you're in between. And that's the scariest part. Yeah, right?
But it's okay lah. You need to learn how to deal with it. Right? Like, there was one point in my business I also had to do something similar. Like, I think I did the top 20% thing for maybe 2-3 years. Then I started got a little bit cocky already. Then weekends, every day just go play mahjong, those mahjong marathon. Friday, Saturday,
Mahjong
Sunday.
marathon!
Hey, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we just play mahjong all the way. Then
How many hours? Like, is it like a, like, how many rounds are in each of the days?
maybe 4-6 rounds.
Wow.
So it's just all the way. So my weekends literally burn already. I also never see my father, mother. I see them more than I see my parents. Then after that, I saw the decline down.
Did your production went down?
Of course lah.
Did.
Go down.
But I thought you can prospect during the
But it's the
mahjong.
same group.
Right.
You go to the same group for a whole week, for 3 days per week, every day. But then, after seeing the decline, me and my wife got to awareness like, okay, maybe we should stop doing this already.
Right.
Difficult to tell you want to quit mahjong. Difficult,
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to cut off the group, but in order to be better, that's what I needed to do. So, okay, bo pian. As in, we are still good friends, but you don't interact that much. Because they are working outside.
Yeah.
Employed, you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's your free time. But to us, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's different. We are playing different games.
Yeah.
So you need to... Was it difficult? Difficult. First chill or busy. This one or then what. Then slowly start the distance already.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. So I had to go and cut. Then I also I also what. But you just learn how to be alone and be more comfortable. Last time I cannot be alone.
Right.
I always need to be around people. When my wife go out, then I go out find friend. But after a while, actually alone is also okay. Got more head space, like you can talk to yourself. Now I know the importance because every day you firefight, you got time with yourself, you can hear yourself talk. It's also quite important also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Deon, for being
Thanks.
here. Yeah,
Thanks for inviting me.